All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Hey, music producers. Welcome back. Welcome, sound designers and music producers to the stream. So, today we're going to be building inside of Reaktor. If you don't know what Reaktor is a sound design platform we use to design sounds and create effects. So, as you can see, I'm inside Ableton right now, but we're going to use Reaktor, which is Native Instruments plugin, inside of Ableton as a plugin device. So we're going to search our plugins. We're going to search for Native Instruments, and we're going to find Reaktor. So when you have Reaktor right here, that means you have a plugin version of the standalone Reaktor. When you open it up, you're going to have a play section where you can play instruments that are inbuilt inside of Reaktor. You have a patch section where you can patch together modular racks that are built. And then you have a build section where you have free play or free roam to patch together both Reaktor blocks and your instruments and samplers and effects and create sound design tools from scratch. So we're going to do that today. We're going to build in the build section. When we click that open, we're going to click on the edit button, and that's going to bring up a page where we can edit our sound. So now we can start from scratch. It's going to be an empty panel, and it's going to have nothing in it. It's only going to have outputs which are lit up on the side right here with musical notes. You can see that means they're active, so they'll send out to the speakers on left and right speaker. You could name these L and R, but they just named them out. So I could rename them any time that I feel, but I'm going to leave them as they are. These imports are for something else. We don't need them right now because we're inputting through a MIDI keyboard. If we're inputting through let's say a synthesizer or something like that, we would probably be using those imports, or we were patching from a device inside of Ableton. We'd probably want to use those imports to send signal into that device and outside to our out ports, which is their speakers. So today we're gonna build out a pad. I'm gonna start with the basic components that we need to build out that pad, and that's gonna be our note in block. That's the first block that we're gonna use. It's gonna send signal into Reaktor. You can see this light right here. It lights up and shows that we're inputting signal inside Reaktor. And we're going to need oscillators after that. That's the building blocks of our sound. That's going to give our sound generation source. We're going to go ahead and we're going to duplicate this oscillator. We're going to name it oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. You can ignore that for now. We're just going to name our oscillators oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. And we're going to mix them together. So we're going to need some sort of mix knob to blend the volumes of them together. And then we're going to bring in a filter. That's a filter and a VCA. And then we want to visualize our waveform. So we're going to bring in a scope so we can see what we're doing. A scope essentially acts as a visualization of the waveform as it's happening live, so we can see what's happening. So I'm going to patch together our ports. If you want to see a deeper dive on this and how to patch them together, there's several videos on my channel which I explain how to patch these together. Today we're going to just do a quick overview of how to bring them together, and that's going to start with our actual outdoor oscillators, which are as our noise or sound generation device, through some filters, through an amp, and out to our left and right speakers. Today I'm going to manipulate these two sounds, and we're going to create one saw wave and one sine wave. So I've got a saw right here. I've just changed that wave, and I'm going to change the second one to a sine wave. So we have a sine wave here. I'm actually going to reverse this. This is oscillator 1, and this is oscillator 2. Just to reorganize our panel, it's best practice to do that to make sure you know what's what. So now this one's going to be a saw wave, and it's going to integrate with the other wave. We're going to turn up the volume of 1, which is connected to oscillator 1. We're going to turn up the volume of 2, which is connected to oscillator 2. And that's going to help us blend our two sounds together. So I'm going to make sure that my record enable is enabled in Ableton, and it is. And then we're going to hit a key. We're going to hope for the best that it's going to work. But if it doesn't work, that's only because we have our volume up, but we don't have any envelope control. So we don't have any amp control. When we hit a key, it's sending the signal. We can see that it's actually working. It's going through the signal chain, but it's not sending it. So we'd have to turn the volume VCA manually, like that, to get volume or signal. But I don't want to do that every time I want to hear something. So I'm going to add an envelope to my actual amp so that we can control the signal over time. So amp envelope. Just think of it as like closing and opening a door, or like an envelope that allows the signal to pass through. So this can be renamed. I'm going to rename this as our amp ADSR. That's going to help us control our signal. So I'll do that. And then you're going to see modulation depth or modulation parameter light up on our VCA. It's going to turn red, just like we see a red mark here, but it's going to flash blue and red, meaning that it's ready for input. So let's turn that all the way up, 100% modulation, and we get signal. So now we got a sound. So we want to make a pad sound. So we're going to have to heavily manipulate our filter and our envelopes. So I'm going to take the filter cutoff, bring it back a little bit. I'm also going to manipulate the cutoff or key tracking, so it's louder on the higher notes. Then I can blend in some noise. I may do that. Actually, I'm not going to use any noise this time. I don't think it's needed, so I'm going to bring in an LFO. It's a low frequency oscillator, and we're going to use that to modulate our pitch and filter cutoff. So I'm going to bring that in to modulate our cutoff. So you can do splashing red and blue, means it can accept modulation. And now I turn the modulation depth up, and we can modulate. Try a shorter modulation depth, and it's less intense. I'm going to add a little bit of effects. I'm going to go into the bento box collection, go into my racks, go into my blocks, primes, blocks, and choose a reverb that we can add on the end here. That's going to act as our effect and really give it some space and depth. I think that's the perfect rate for me. And let's add in a little bit of I'm gonna add a little bit of attack delay. We're gonna delay that attack slightly so that we get a little bit of a more patty sound. Gonna delay the release a lot more. Turn it up a little bit. Bring our volume up. Our notes are decaying now at a slower rate when I hit one key. We didn't even add in our LFO yet, so I'm gonna add a little bit of LFO movement. modulation. A little bit more. So I don't like that so much, so I'm going to bring it back to 0. Gives it more of an intense effect. You can actually speed it up though, if we want to. Just to the rate of our song. We can now take this and we can use it in a track. So I'm going to go ahead and save my sound. I'm going to save our preset file. Save as. We'll call this just a wobble pad. I'm going to save that. And then we go to our track. So now we can add in some sound. So I'm going to set my metronome. And we can do, let's see. Okay, I like that tempo. Can play a little melodic line inside here. Or we can click it in. So either way is fine. Just choose a 4-bar section. And then we can start writing. So I'm going to make my graph bigger. Oh, say again. Okay, so we got a melodic pattern. We can duplicate that a few times. Got to start with something. So might not sound like much, but it gives us a starting point to kind of carve some sounds. So we're going to check the key. Let's see if we can pitch it down an octave. Okay, I'm gonna take our clip, copy it, paste the version in the back, and we're gonna take this and we're going to pull it down an octave. Now we're going to go to contact. I'm going to bring in a bass. Let's use a Rickenbacker. Needs a little bit of saturation, actually. Just trying to get you to get used to the idea of taking your sounds immediately as you create them and using them inside of your productions. So right now we got that. Put a little distortion on it, without it, with it, without it, with it. Gonna remove the metronome for a minute. Going to bring this part down. Keep the bass notes. Maybe make a counter. And bring down the volume a little bit. Okay, so let's not loop that. Okay. Now we can add in some drums. Okay, do a auto record here. Let's stretch out this part. I know I recorded it a few more times than that, so there we go. Check their parts in time. It's a little loud. Sorry about that. Now we did a capture on that one as well, just so it takes the pressure off recording it. So that's a little trick you can use in every production. So let's take that first one. I see that it's a little bit ahead of time. Just gonna pull it back. Actually, I'm gonna keep that there. A little bit of quantization on this. Duplicate this part. Maybe a little drum bus on it. Okay. Okay. So that's where we turn on the quantize setting. I'm gonna add in some hi-hats now, or snares. Bring in some hi-hats. We're gonna bring them in on Just a little pattern. Can do a little trill. Chill on that grid. 1/8 notes. Just gonna erase that. We want a 3 hit right here. Or 4 hit. So I know a lot of people use FL, but this is my way of doing the same thing. So you can do it in Ableton. You can do program your hi-hats pretty well using those hotkeys and using your MIDI notes. Just gonna add some velocity here. Oops. Gonna add another hit, I think, right here. No, I don't like that. I'm gonna erase some of these notes. Okay, so we're gonna take that, bring that over to our next sections until we hit the end of our loop, hear what it sounds like, and make our tweaks. No. Let's start that at the very beginning. Let's take those out. Let's do gonna remove this section. So there we go, we got our loop. That's an idea starter right there. Gonna take it up a notch, add one more synthesizer. Maybe some plucks. Maybe something like a lead a little bit. But loving that sound. Record that in. Now we can manipulate the sound a little bit, choose a different one, or add a little rhythmic edge. Okay, so I'm gonna bring some more blocks over here. Just add a separator. just to continue that feeling from the first section. Okay, so I'm gonna bring that back. Then we can loop it. So we've got a rough arrangement. So as you can see, this is what you can create with Reaktor sounds. We've created that initial Reaktor sound with our devices, and we incorporate that into our music. That's our original sound, just to remind you. Our pad is sounding sound, and we've taken that, we've built it up into production, added a slight arrangement, and here is the finished product. You could try a tempo change, see if that makes a difference. Let's see. I like gonna speed it up a little bit. a little too fast. I think 106. Oh, that's a little too fast too. 105. Just 2 BPM up. I'm gonna go 1 up just because I think it was perfect where it was. There we go. And there we have it, a finished production. We can go ahead and we can file save that one. We'll do a collect all and save. I don't know what we call it. We'll call it pad bounce, and we will save, collect all and save. We'll also always want to Command Shift R and export our track as a finished track in our folder so that we have a project that's done. So that's what we got for today. I won't bore you with the saving, but as you can see, you can use Reaktor really creatively in all your productions. If you'd like to dive deeper into sound design and learn more about modular synthesis, be sure to check out my full sound design course, link in the description, and I will see you in the next live stream. I stream daily, so I'll see you in the next one, and peace out.